Mr. Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
president? We already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She does
The internet is buzzing again, louder than ever, and it feels like this storm just won't quiet down. After years of silence, Michelle Obama has finally spoken out, addressing a shocking moment that left jaws on the floor.
So wrong on so many levels. And it actually strikes fear in me that somehow, someday, somewhere, that will get out.
I went through 5 different security passes, and then a woman at the gate who will not recheck into their records says to me, "You cannot go on?" No, she is a moron.
It all started with a bold and unexpected comment by the legendary Joan Rivers, a comment that sparked heated debates and endless speculation. But this story, it's much bigger than that one headline. It's a tangled web of controversy, theories, and twists that refuse to be forgotten.
Palestine took it back. Selena Gomez tweeted a pro-Gaza.
Oh, Selena Gomez. Oh, yeah, that college grad.
All right, Joan, thank you.
Joan, thank you so much.
Well, if Selena said that.
Then Rihanna has to take it back.
Tell her, let's see if she can spell Palestinian.
Joan Rivers was known for her razor-sharp wit and fearless commentary. She said what others wouldn't dare, often leaving people laughing or gasping. But in 2014, during what seemed like just another candid moment, her words took a turn that no one saw coming.
Do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
We already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
Responding to a casual question about the idea of America ever having a gay or female president, Rivers made a statement so shocking that it stopped people in their tracks. She claimed, without hesitation or explanation, that we already have it. Obama is gay and Michelle is a trans. It wasn't delivered with humor, nor did she backtrack or clarify. Instead, she gave a dismissive wave as though she had just said something obvious. Come on, everyone knows it. The immediate reaction? Chaos. Social media lit up like a wildfire.
Very good to you, and you know, you've got best-selling books, you sell out on stage, even with your fashion critiquing. While it's very mean in some ways, people can't wait to hear what you have to say. Really? It's not mean?
You can. It's not mean. I tell the truth. I'm sure I say the same things that all your viewers say to their friends sitting next to them on the couch. You know, we're one of the few shows that says that's an ugly dress. And that's okay. These ladies make $28 million a picture. You really think that...
Was it a joke? A wild conspiracy theory? Did she know something the rest of us didn't? People took to online forums, YouTube videos, and comment sections, dissecting Joan's statement as though searching for buried treasure. The conspiracy only gained more fuel when clips surfaced of Barack Obama supposedly slipping up and referring to Michelle as Michael. To some, it was a simple gaffe. To others, it was evidence of something lurking beneath the surface.
Michael and I also want to acknowledge Michael and I.
But the controversy took an even darker turn weeks after Joan's eyebrow-raising remarks. Out of nowhere, the world learned she had passed away suddenly following what was supposed to be a routine throat procedure.
It gets 4 more years, your family will never, ever recover. And by the way, Michelle Obama was very nasty to me. Ooh. Oh, she was nasty. I've gone out of my way to be nice to Michelle. I've gone out of my way to be nice to Michelle. Never said a bad thing about her when other people didn't like her so much. And she hit me the other day because they're desperate. They don't want Trump back because we're going to turn this country around and show how bad they were and how incompetent they were. But she hit me. Now, the fake news doesn't care about that, but if I hit her, they'll say, oh, what a horrible thing it was. She can hit me, she can go, and she can say whatever the hell she wants. If I hit her just a little tiny bit, oh, he's a bully. He's a bully.
A tiny spark became a roaring fire. Whispers of foul play grew louder, with countless people questioning whether her death was, as some dared to suggest, a coincidence or something far more chilling.
Now, what do you think about same-sex marriage, John?
I'm totally against it.
You are?
Yes,
Why?
because all my friends are gay. I'm not buying gifts. I am so...
What's wrong with Glee?
Oh.
Glee? What's Glee ever done to you?
Glee, that stupid show where they're all happy. All the gay boys are running and laughing. My high school, they were running and fucking hiding.
I like black on black. You hear that, Oprah?
And while the rumors have been swirling all these years, Michelle Obama remains silent. Until now. For the first time, she is directly addressing the rumors and the noise. And what she reveals could change everything.
Our hearts. So I want to appeal for some empathy here, too. I want everyone who is still undecided to think about all those folks like me and my ancestors. The moms and dads who work their fingers to the bone to raise their kids right. The teenagers who wear hoodies while working hard to get their diplomas. The millions of folks who look like me and fought and died and toiled as slaves and soldiers and laborers to help build this country.
Before we dive deeper into this saga, breaking down the events, analyzing the fallout, and unraveling the bigger picture, just take a moment to pause and breathe. This story isn't just about rumors or wild assumptions, it's about the power of words, the responsibility of public figures, and the unintended consequences that multiply when speculation spirals out of control. What's clear is that this is no ordinary story, and whatever happens next, it will leave lasting ripples in how we think about the boundaries between humor, truth, and the narratives we choose to believe. So hang tight, there's a lot to uncover. The curious case of Joan Rivers' tragic.
Disturbing new details emerging tonight about the death of Joan Rivers. One of the doctors reportedly conducted an unauthorized procedure on her and then took a selfie in the operating room. CBS 2's Don Champion has more on this.
Nearly 2 weeks after the death of Joan Rivers, we're learning more about what led to her going into cardiac arrest. It happened after a tiny camera was used to look at the 81-year-old's vocal cords here at Yorkville Endoscopy on the Upper East Side. Now CNN reports Rivers stopped breathing when her personal doctor, who hasn't been named, performed an unauthorized biopsy on Rivers' vocal cords while she was still under anesthesia.
Second wife, the husband wants a hot meal. She puts a little Ben Gay on the sandwich.
Sources tell the network the biopsy took place after the authorized Dr. Lawrence Cohen performed an endoscopy on Rivers looking for possible digestive issues. During the procedure, he reportedly found something, even
death. On September 4th, 2014, the world was shocked. Just weeks after making a bold and controversial statement that grabbed headlines, Joan Rivers walked into a clinic for what was supposed to be a routine throat procedure. She never walked out. Doctors claimed it was complications during surgery, but questions bubbled up almost instantly. How could a woman so vibrant, so bursting with energy, lose her life over something so minor? For many, the timing was eerie, too strange to brush aside. Inevitably, whispers began to spread. Some believed Joan had been silenced for daring to speak truths others wouldn't. Some said she knew too much and had crossed unseen lines that shouldn't be crossed. Was it just wild speculation, or was there something more hidden beneath the surface? That remains unclear. What is undeniable, however, is this. Joan Rivers' untimely death has left a shroud of suspicion hanging in the air, one that hasn't vanished with time. But Michelle Obama, the person who unwittingly became entangled in these rumors, she stayed silent. That is, until now. Michelle Obama speaks out. I've had enough.
And his willful mismanagement of the COVID crisis is just one example of his negligence. As a Black woman who has, like the overwhelming majority of people of color in this nation, done everything in my power to live a life of dignity and service and honesty, the knowledge that any of my fellow Americans is more afraid of me than the chaos we are living through right now, well, that hurt.
For years, Michelle Obama chose dignity over drama. She paid no attention to far-fetched gossip that spread endlessly online. But there's only so much anyone can tolerate. With baseless accusations gaining ground over time, the former First Lady finally broke her silence. And when she did, she made sure the world was listening. In a recent interview, Michelle didn't mince her words. It's ridiculous, the fact that people are so obsessed with my body and my identity. It says more about them than it does about me.
As somebody who has watched, I think, one of the most productive and profound presidents of our lifetime, I've seen my husband operate up close. He reads everything. He knows more than everybody in the room because he has to. The job of the president isn't deciding between a bunch of good answers. It's not enough to just have a bunch of good advisors, because if you have 8 advisors, you're going to get 8 different opinions. And ultimately, the commander-in-chief has to have the knowledge to be able to choose between the 8. That means you have to read everything. You have to know everything. You have to know more than the people around you. But I fear that sometimes people might have thought that Barack made it look easy, so it must be easy. It's kind of like, I guess if the black guy could do it, anybody can do it. And that's not true. It's a hard job.
She didn't just brush off the rumors, she confronted them head on. She called out the harm caused by spreading falsehoods, pointing out that this isn't just a personal attack. It reflects a broader issue. For women, and especially for Black women in the public eye, these unfair narratives can ripple out into toxic perceptions.
She's putting herself out there fearlessly, facing down even her harshest critics. She's seeking out Republicans to find common ground. And unlike her opponent, she's not ducking interviews or cowering in safe spaces only with fawning audiences. No, she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like.
But Michelle didn't stop there. Instead, she turned her frustration into a moment of empowerment. She reminded everyone that strong, influential women will always find themselves under attack. And the more visible your power, the more people will try to chip away at it. As for Joan Rivers, Michelle didn't directly mention her or revisit the allegations, but she made one thing abundantly clear. No one gets to tell her story or rewrite her identity. She owns her truth, and she won't let anyone take that away from her.
Men and women of the finest military in the world. Most of all, Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today. All of you have performed extraordinary service to our country.
Barack Obama's Michael's slip-ups. Let's address one of the internet's favorite conspiracy theory highlights, the instances where Barack Obama seemingly referred to Michelle as Michael. There are a handful of clips where Barack appears to trip over his words, saying phrases like Michael and I instead of Michelle and I. Each time this happens, social media explodes with speculation.
And the good news is that you have candidates to vote for in this election that demonstrate that kind of character, who know what real strength looks like, who will set a good example and do the right thing and leave this country better than they found it. So,
But here's the thing. Anyone who speaks in public frequently knows that slip-ups happen. Presidents especially talk tirelessly day after day, sometimes with hardly any rest. Could this have been a simple verbal blunder? Without a doubt. Of course, that explanation doesn't satisfy conspiracy theorists. For them, it's not exhaustion, but a slip of truth accidentally revealed. So, was it a harmless mistake, or is there a deeper story? That's up to you to decide. Where are the baby photos of Malia and Sasha? Another piece of evidence that skeptics love to point to involves the absence of public baby pictures of Malia and Sasha.
Hi. Malia and Sasha Obama stepping back into the spotlight for a rare interview.
I'm excited for her to be proud of what she's done, because I think that's the most important thing for a human to do, is to be proud of themselves.
The former first daughters appearing in the new Netflix documentary Becoming, which looks at
Obama. Critics argue that the earliest photographs of the Obama daughters seem to begin when the girls were toddlers, aged around 3 or 4. This, they claim, is proof that Michelle didn't give birth to them. They go as far as suggesting that Malia and Sasha's biological parents are actually longtime Obama family friends, Dr. Anita Blanchard and Martin Nesbitt.
But we all have children. My son plays at Notre Dame, and recently I read a story about him, and they asked him about being my son. Yeah. And he said, well, when I was younger, I used to run from it. He said, because kids would say, I only got this opportunity because of my father. And he said, now that I'm older, I embrace it because I understand what it means to represent that name. You know, you talked about kind of getting that fame at 43. Maybe then, if you had the girls, it wouldn't have been President Obama's daughter or Michelle Obama's daughter. But now it is.
Let's take a step back. Back then, the Obamas were a private family with no inkling they would one day live under a global spotlight. Not every parent documents or shares their children's earliest years, especially when social media wasn't the phenomenon it is today. Even so, the wild theories continue to circle. But for Michelle Obama, none of this matters. She laughs it off, because at the end of the day, she is their mother, and no amount of baseless speculation can take that away from her.
Whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or none of the above, this is our time to stand up for what we know in our hearts is right.
The Michael LaVaughn Robinson theory. Among the sea of internet rumors, few have been as persistent or as bizarre as the Michael LaVaughn Robinson theory. This claim suggests that Michelle Obama was allegedly born male, transitioning later in life. But where exactly does this theory come from, and why has it gained so much attention online? Some claim to have discovered old yearbook photos of a Michael LaVaughn Robinson, who they insist is Michelle's supposed past identity. Others point to doctored images and falsified documents circulating in fringe corners of the internet. Here's the catch. Fact checkers have repeatedly debunked these rumors, stating there is zero credible evidence that Michelle ever had another name or gender. No official records or documents back the allegations. Most of the so-called proof consists of manipulated images or outright fabrication.
In light of this last election, I'm concerned about us as women and how we think about ourselves and about each other and what's really going on. I mean, I think more about what is going on in our heads where we let that happen, you know? So I do wonder what...
Still, even with these facts in plain sight, the theory refuses to fade away. Every few months, it makes a dramatic return to social media, sparking heated debates and racking up millions of views and comments. And Michelle's response? Silence. She's chosen not to engage, but the internet doesn't rest. It keeps digging, spinning its narratives, and beating the same drum. Big Mike. Jokes. Where's the line?